secret to the coziest kitchen this fall isn't a complete renovation, a designer backsplash, or a brand new set of cabinets. What if it's simply the charm of something old? Welcome to a beautiful exploration of vintage kitchen decor, where antique accents, warm textures, country kitchen ideas, and timeless decorating details transform an ordinary cooking space into the heart of the home. Inspired by the latest vintage kitchen ideas featured by Homes and Gardens, today we're discovering how small, storied details can create a kitchen that feels warm, personal, nostalgic, and effortlessly beautiful. There is something wonderfully comforting about a kitchen that doesn't look as though it came directly from a showroom. Vintage kitchen design introduces imperfection, history, and personality into a space dominated by practical surfaces and straight architectural lines. Rather than making everything match perfectly, the look celebrates a collected atmosphere, perhaps a weathered wooden shelf beside classic cabinetry, an antique-inspired container near the stove, or a piece of old-looking pottery displayed where it can actually be appreciated. This cozy kitchen decorating approach creates the feeling that the room has evolved naturally over many years, rather than being decorated all at once. The easiest way to make vintage decor shine is to give it a calm, timeless backdrop. Think shaker-style cabinets, warm white or cream walls, natural wood, classic hardware, and traditional silhouettes. A simple foundation allows decorative pieces to become the stars without making the kitchen feel overly themed. Homes and Gardens highlights combinations such as understated shaker cabinetry, fluted or butler-style sinks, and aged brass hardware as an elegant starting point for vintage kitchen styling. The result is a timeless kitchen design that feels traditional but remains perfectly comfortable for modern, everyday life. If you want one small change with a surprisingly dramatic effect, look toward aged brass. Cabinet pulls, drawer handles, faucets, rails, and small decorative hardware can immediately introduce warmth and historical character. Unlike highly polished metals, aged brass has a softer appearance that works beautifully with wood, cream cabinetry, stone, and vintage accessories. It also complements the warm autumn palette of cinnamon, ochre, brown, rust, and muted green. This is one of those vintage home decor ideas that doesn't require replacing an entire kitchen. Just changing a few carefully selected details can make the room feel more established and characterful. Now, let's talk about the countertop, because this is where vintage kitchen decor can become especially expressive. Instead of leaving every surface completely empty, create small functional arrangements using stoneware, wooden boards, ceramic containers, linen towels, vintage-style salt cellars, or a beautiful pitcher. The Current Homes and Gardens Fall Collection specifically emphasizes countertop accents such as stoneware, copper pieces, embroidered tea towels, and vintage-inspired kitchen accessories. The key is restraint. Arrange objects in small groupings, leave useful workspace open, and make everything appear as though it belongs there naturally. Few materials capture the romance of an old-fashioned kitchen quite like copper. Copper pans, molds, trays, and cookware can introduce a rich glow that becomes particularly beautiful under warm autumn lighting. You don't necessarily need an entire collection. One or two authentic-looking pieces can become focal points. Hang a copper pan beside a range, place a small mold on an open shelf, or display a copper vessel among cream ceramics and wooden accessories. The combination creates a beautiful balance between rustic kitchen decor and elegant European country style, giving the room warmth without making it feel excessively rustic. shelving offers another opportunity to create that coveted English country kitchen atmosphere. Instead of filling shelves with perfectly coordinated dinnerware, mix practical pieces with decorative finds. Stack cream plates beside floral ceramics, position a small framed print behind a pitcher, or place a woven basket beside a group of vintage-inspired bowls. The magic comes from variation in height, texture, and material. Vintage kitchen design works especially well when objects appear collected gradually rather than purchased as a matching set. This approach gives your shelves a relaxed, lived-in quality while still maintaining a carefully considered composition. One of the simplest ways to make a kitchen feel cozy is through textiles. Linen tea towels, embroidered runners, checked cloths, floral curtains, quilted pot holders, and softly patterned table linens can immediately soften hard cabinetry and countertops. For fall, look toward chocolate brown, muted mustard, cinnamon, burgundy, cream, and olive tones. These colors create the visual warmth associated with fall kitchen decorating ideas without requiring obvious seasonal decorations. A simple linen towel draped over an oven handle or a patterned runner on a breakfast table can make the entire room feel more relaxed and inviting. Here's where vintage kitchen design becomes much more interesting. Not everything needs to be technically kitchen furniture. A weathered wooden table, antique stool, old cabinet, butcher's block, or freestanding prep table can break up the uniformity of built-in cabinetry. Homes and Gardens has specifically highlighted vintage butcher's blocks and prep tables as characterful kitchen additions. These pieces provide both visual texture and practical function, while their aged surfaces introduce the kind of natural patina that is difficult to reproduce convincingly with brand new furniture. A pantry can become one of the most charming areas in a vintage-inspired kitchen. Instead of hiding every ingredient behind modern cabinetry, consider displaying beautiful everyday staples in glass jars, ceramic containers, woven baskets, and labeled storage pieces. Use different heights and materials to create visual rhythm while keeping the arrangement practical. The goal isn't to turn your pantry into a museum display. It is to make ordinary objects feel beautiful. This is particularly effective for small kitchen decorating ideas because attractive storage can function as decoration while helping the room remain organized and uncluttered. Color has enormous influence over whether vintage decor feels sophisticated or overly nostalgic. One timeless combination is soft blue with cream and warm wood, while earthy palettes of olive, ochre, terracotta, brown, and muted yellow create a particularly welcoming autumn atmosphere. For a more playful retro kitchen, deeper greens and warm yellows can reference mid-century and 1970s interiors without requiring a complete period recreation. Homes and Gardens notes that earthy brown, orange, and avocado tones are among the ideas being revisited from 1970s kitchens. kitchenware doesn't always need to stay hidden behind cabinet doors. Vintage plates, blue and white china, ceramic bowls, serving platters, and decorative pitchers can become part of the room's visual identity. Display a few special pieces on open shelves, lean plates against a backsplash, or group similar colors together for a cohesive arrangement. Recent Homes and Gardens coverage also points to vintage blue and white china as a nostalgic element designers are bringing back into contemporary interiors. The trick is to display pieces selectively, allowing each object enough breathing room to feel intentional rather than creating visual clutter. The most successful vintage kitchen ideas rarely look completely vintage. Instead, they combine old character with modern convenience. You might have contemporary appliances surrounded by antique-looking accessories, modern lighting above a reclaimed wooden table, or classic cabinets paired with vintage stools. This contrast is important because it keeps the kitchen functional and relevant. Homes and Gardens similarly recommends mixing old and new rather than turning the room into a rigid vintage theme. Think inspired by the past, not frozen in the past. Every memorable kitchen needs a little surprise. Perhaps it's an unusual antique mirror, a salvaged sign, an old botanical print, a vintage breadboard, a decorative basket, or a piece that technically belongs somewhere else in the home. Designers have suggested bringing unexpected vintage objects into kitchens specifically because they interrupt the repetition of cabinetry and hard surfaces. This creates what might be called the unkitchen feeling, a space that functions as a kitchen but feels more like a comfortable room filled with personality. That relaxed, collected approach is one of the most exciting directions in kitchen design today. Now imagine the finished room at golden hour. Warm light falls across cream cabinets, copper catches a soft glow, linen towels add texture, wooden furniture brings depth, and a bowl of seasonal fruit sits quietly on the counter. This is where vintage kitchen decor becomes more than a style. It becomes an atmosphere. For cozy fall home decor, focus on tactile materials and subtle seasonal colors rather than filling every corner with pumpkins and obvious decorations. The latest Homes and Gardens collection emphasizes how warm textures and time-worn finishes can make kitchens especially inviting as the weather cools. And that brings us to the heart of today's vintage kitchen inspiration. A beautiful kitchen doesn't have to look brand new to feel luxurious, welcoming, or stylish. In fact, the scratches, patina, mismatched ceramics, old-fashioned textiles, wooden furniture, copper accents, and carefully chosen antique details can be exactly what gives a room its soul. Whether you are creating an English country kitchen, a cozy farmhouse kitchen, a cottagecore kitchen, or simply adding a few vintage touches to a modern home, remember that character comes from choosing pieces with meaning and letting them live together naturally. If you enjoyed this vintage kitchen decor 2026 inspiration, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more cozy home decorating ideas, and tell us in the comments, which vintage kitchen detail would you bring into your home first?